American battery technology last week shot up over 40%. Just what we talked about in the last video. This baby was going to moon. Now we're going to talk about exactly why that has happened in today's video. Welcome back everyone to Buy, Hold, Sell, and I hope of course you are all well. American Battery Technology continues to pay out. We're doing fantastic trading with American Battery Technology, but fundamentally we're holding this bad boy long. We've been invested for the best part of 5 years in American Battery Technology, and it has been a bumpy road, many ups, many downs, but the company fundamentally keeps ticking boxes and it is progressing nicely. We talked a lot in the last video about some of the fundamentals that this company is achieving, but their financial report has just come out and it has blew me away. It genuinely has blew me away. We've covered it in the Discord. I'm doing a video today just to bring it to your attention. American Battery Technology announced its 2025 fourth quarter and full year financial results. And look at this, again, nearly triples quarterly revenue. Company achieved more than 180% increase in quarterly revenue as it accelerates commercial operations to increase the onshoring of critical mineral manufacturing. The results highlights a significant acceleration in revenue growth, both substantially outpaced the increase in operational costs, signaling a clear trajectory towards profitability as the company continues to ramp up its operations. And here's some of the financial highlights that they've brought to our attention. Q4 financial year 2025 revenue increased to 2.8 million, tripling 183% from 1 million in quarter three. Outstanding. Very good. Just it does genuinely put a smile on my face. We picked this company 5 years ago and we've had a new CEO in Ryan Meltzer come in and really take the reins of this company and change the whole direction. We've had a whole rebrand, a new logos, new company name, and it's just been a complete transformation. They've developed a plant that is producing. They've found lithium mining refineries in America. They've also had all these government grants. They're really delivering on everything that they have set out, and what Ryan has achieved is quite remarkable in my opinion. It's honestly it's so good because it's a bloody penny stock. At one stage it was a high risk, high reward play, and they're delivering, which is fantastic. Control cost with a cash cost of goods sold, a non GAAP measure, rising by only 70% in Q4, 3.9 million compared to Q3, which was 2.3 million. And that does demonstrate significant operational controls. The revenue, substantial increase to 4.3 million, an increase of 1,149% from 0.3. They had 300 grand in full year of 2024 and we're at 4.3 million. Really unbelievable numbers. Efficiency implementations with a full year cash cost of goods sold increasing by 483%, 10.5 million in the full year 2025 versus 1.8 million in 2024, far below the rate of revenue growth. Reduced total operation expenses. 2025 total operating expenses decreased by 30%, which is fantastic. I mean, they're still growing, they're still expanding, they're still reinvesting the money, but they still have that way of being able to decrease this. They've done it by 30% to 31.4 million from 44.8 million in full year 2024. Achieved while also substantially scaling company operations during this period. So they're finding ways to be more efficient with their money, which is great. We talked about the Russell Index inclusion. It helps with trading and more exposure. The Russell Index in itself, people are buying into that and they're getting a little slice of American Battery Technology. Cash and restricted cash of 12.5 million, June 30, 2025, a significant enhancement to cash balance of 25.4 million as of September 15, 2025. We like to have cash in the it allows us to ride out hard times. It allows us to potentially strike on an opportunity. If it were to arise, we have some cash to do that now. Then Ryan has went on to say, I'm extremely proud of the ABTC team and we continue to ramp operations at our first recycling facility at such an exponential rate. He then said, we have an exciting path ahead as we continue the growth in operations at our current facility while also accelerating the commercialization of our Tonopah Flats lithium project and our second battery recycling facility within our strategic partners. It's hard not to get excited about this, especially when you consider the grants that we're getting. We've had 144 million grant from the US Department of Energy. We covered it in the other video. And then they've got the approved letter for 900 million low interest loan. This is showing that the government is also big supporter of this. There was fears when Trump got in that potentially these types of things wouldn't get the grants, but it's great to see that that is continued. That is a real sort of backing, I feel, that American battery technology is going to have a great future ahead of itself. The government is pumping in money, and as we know, for the likes of SpaceX and Tesla, other companies that have the grants and the backing tend to succeed. Now, it's obviously you have to take everything with a pinch of salt, but it's hard to see American battery technology not succeeding with their mission statements if they're going to have the backing of the government. We know how important battery recycling is going to be, and we know how important the lithium oxide situation that they have is as well. Now, we can talk all day about the positives. There has to be some sort of risk still with this company. And of course, that there is. They're going to try to scale this company massively. That could result in potentially more loans, could result in maybe even dilution of shareholders. Moving from the smaller pilot plants into full commercialization is going to cost money, and there's going to be obstacles there. So I am a bit wary of that. I'm used to it now with some of the companies that we're in. We know what happens here. This is a long haul for me anyway. I'm not too worried, and I want to see expansion. I want to see further growth. I want to see the company get bigger. So it's a sort of, you have to take that, the good with the bad, I suppose is what you say. Another thing with any type of growth, especially if you're building plants and construction and all that, expect delays. Delays usually, and again, speaking from experience, causes the share price usually to react quite negatively. So we're going to probably see tailwinds, and this is, to be honest, plus the political landscape with it being what it is, and Trump and all that, this could change at any given time. So there's risks that will always be with American battery technology. The devil is in the execution of this. They have to make sure that whoever they're hiring knows what they're doing, and they can scale this up. We've been in other companies that have maybe not brought on the right contractors or tried to cut corners, and it's came back to bite them. So hopefully those types of mistakes won't be made. But that's the negative. I like to try and be balanced on it. Overall, fantastic financial report. There's no doubt about it. Company is going in the right direction year on year, quarter on quarter. We're going in the right direction, and we'll want to see further growth. For example, if the project gets to the 30,000 tons per year output that they're expecting, that's more revenue. That's going to really increase revenue, and a lot of eyeballs, in my opinion, from this financial report are starting to look at American battery technology, and that is probably why the share price has pumped so hard this last 5 days. And the other thing we want to keep an eye on is the margins. Improving on non-GAAP cash costs of goods sold will be critical. If ABTC can continue to bring down their cost per unit, even as the scale increases, it improves long-term profitability. But the proof of concept's there. This works. People know that this works. So it's about scaling it. As long as we don't fall in any issues there or any delays or political landscape or anything like that comes along, we're going to be moving away from the whole pilot thing into proper, real commercialization, which is really exciting. In my video about a month ago now, back when I was in sunny Portugal, I told you exactly what I'd done. What I'd done, sold at 310, sold at 350, let it fall, let it fall, let it fall, let it fall, let it fall. Rebought some at 275, and then I reloaded the full position back up at 225 on Thursday. Pretty much around here. You can never quite time these things, hence why I sold some at 310 and then the rest at 350, rebought at 275, but then bought the rest at 225. So we caught the right at the bottom, brought my average price to about 170. So currently sitting at about 100% up, which is nice, a double your money scenario. But then when you consider the profits that have already been banked, to re-ride this back up is glorious. Now, people are asking me, well, you going to do the same again? This time around, I'm thinking not. I'm thinking, and again, if we see silly numbers of, if we go to like $4 again, I'll be trimming. Of course, you have to. It's going to sell off again, just the exact same scenario. But look at what the difference is here. The last time we got up to about these levels, massively over bought, indicating it's going to turn, and it did turn, and it sold off. This time around, the RSI shows more strength. We're not at these sort of bananas crazy levels because of this simple fact that we went into this channel, we cooled off, we let all the averages come down, we let all the RSIs, the MACDs, everything sort of got nice settled. We consolidated. Consolidation brings us to a place where we can actually level up then with more momentum and more excitement. And you can see all these people, including myself, that were buying around these levels because this was the bottom. It felt like it was the bottom, and it was the bottom. We've bought all around these levels. We've now loaded the boat and we're ready for the next takeoff. And if you look at this, and this is the key one you want to look at, the MACD is only crossing over now, which is very exciting. And you can see the volume on the MACD coming in here as well. The last time we crossed over on the MACD was here. So 27th of June was when we crossed over. And if you actually go back and look at the 27th of June on the chart, you can see roughly the 27th of June was here and we went on this push. So we're only crossing over here and we went on this rally. This time around, we're only crossing over here and we're only here. So where does it go? Well, considering the wider market and the general feeling that I feel that there is optimism, we know about Trump's big, beautiful bill and all the money being pumped in. I still fancy the markets to push on. Now, I am cautious. I do think things will pull back towards the end of this year. But for the next month, I don't see why ABAT and the rest of the market doesn't continue to push on. And I'm going to hold. I'm not going to sell. Again, if it gets to these crazy levels and the indications are it's time to take profits, of course I'm going to take profits. That could easily be this week if it pushes on. But whether tomorrow has a bit of a pullback or whatever, I don't foresee ABAT losing its steam here in the short term. I feel that we will see, dare I say it, we're going to break four. I think we're going to push. I think we could go to $5 easily on this. And the reason I'm saying $5 is because if you look at round here, this is going to be naturally your level. What we'll do is we'll just pull this line down. Here is roughly about $5, and that is kind of this level here. And I just fancy us to push. I feel like it's in the water. I feel like we're going to get there. Now, this is naturally going to be a bit of a resistance. So again, talking about that little maybe sort of day or two of trying to get above and not quite doing it, that might play out. That we'll just have to wait and see, or we just explode right through. But from here, you're looking, from my opinion, at least another probably 60% gains on ABAT. We get to those types of levels, I'll be trimming on the way up most likely, but I'm aiming for about $5 on this next big push. It's very exciting. Great fundamental news that's coming out from American Battery Technology, and more of those types of news could come out and the thing could just pop off. It's a hot stock. You don't really want to be out of it. You want to trim, you want to do a wee bit of jiggery. As always, I'm a trader, but at the same time, I'm going to keep my long hold position and just leave that for the next 5 years. That's not being touched. But my swing trade account, where I've got a couple of grand just in it, that is going to be getting played with, and I am looking forward to seeing what happens over the coming week. That's the video. What's your thoughts? And in terms of a long-term projection, this has got legs for days, in my opinion. From the short term, do you feel like we could be getting the $5 over the coming weeks? I do. Love to get your comments down below. Please like, subscribe, help us grow the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's the Discord. You can get in, have a chat with us all, or even just this new YouTube button where apparently you can help me keep the channel and support me that way. Either way, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.